Hello and welcome back to the Code Maven channel. Hi, Ivett.
Hi.
We are just going to continue this self-knowledge workshop application that I already forgot what we have been doing earlier, but I'm sure that we'll get there. I saw that you committed a file just an hour ago or so with lots of text in Hungarian. We can get started.
Yeah, let's get started. So before you share screen, because you are going to be coding again, I just wanted to show you one thing I did. I kind of created a Trello board for the remaining things that we need to do.
Okay.
So the first one here is fetch cards. For now, we have everything hard-coded, right? And this is going to be fetching the content of that file that I just committed. It contains all of the questions.
Okay.
For now, I thought that we would just commit into the repo and have it there. Long term, we want to separate it out so that people can use this for other workshops as well.
Yeah.
Then we have a second card here. It turns out that there are three decks of cards for different phases of transition. And we need to make sure that people can select which deck they want to use. So that's going to be one thing that we do. And then we have a couple of other things, but probably we will get to these two, and maybe if we go further, then we can get back to this board. Yeah. But for now, I'm going to move fetch cards into in progress so that we can start working on that. And I'm going to share this Trello board with you so that you can also check it.
Okay, great, thanks. Let me see if I can.
You may have to request access.
Board not found.
Okay, well then for now I'm going to share it with.
Wait a second, I'll have to. Okay, I logged in, but it's private now.
Yeah, so I will have to invite you then. Okay, let's sort this out offline. For this session, I can track the tasks, and then for the next section, we will make sure that you have access to it.
Okay, great. By the way, I think I would recommend that we take the items that we already have and then create another stack just with just 2 or 3 items. So we have now 2 stacks. One of them is this really short and just made up things, the English one, and the other one is probably more real.
I'm not sure I understand what you mean.
I mean, you right now we have the stack of cards inside the application.
Yeah,
hard coded. Those like 3 cards, right? Or I don't know how many we have. And instead of replacing that with the one with the Hungarian that you just committed, we can take these 3 and create a second deck. And then you already have 2 decks, and then we can also have the choice.
Well, yeah, we could do that, but probably for now it's easier to just remove those 3 because this file already has 3 decks in it.
Okay, so it's not one deck per file. It's
it's 3 decks in one file. If you can share the screen and open the file, and I can explain what's.
Yeah, let's take a look at that. Let me rearrange here the windows for a second. Okay, so that's what we have, and I have. And what was the name of the file?
It was deck.txt. Deck.
Deck.
Yeah, decks.
Okay.
And what you see here is each line is 1 card. And then we have, on the first line, we have star and the name of the deck and star. And then we have, after a while, we have an empty line and then the second deck.
Okay.
Star is there, and then we have the third deck.
Okay.
But the way it's gonna work is that for each player, we will be able to select one of the decks. We will use the name between the stars to list the decks. And then from that point on, people will get cards from that deck that they selected for themselves.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Good.
let's start with fetching this file.
So wait a second. One window. So I just need to npm start, right?
Yeah, true.
And here we are. Slowly but surely we have here. Okay.
Okay. Right.
So
now, whenever the app is mounted, we want to download this file, right? And for now, we have that constant card deck there. We will remove that eventually. Instead of that, we are going to create a state. And yeah, just like with line 23, we can just create a const, and then we have DAX and set DAC, and then use state and an empty object.
right. So for now we have the assumption that the deck is a file there, and it's already there, right?
Yeah.
So you say that we create another entry here, which is going to be card decks or what?
We can just say it's a DAX.
Decks.
Yeah, and set DAX. And then it's not an array, but an object, because for each it's a
key value pair.
Yeah, key value pairs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and for each key we will have an array of cards. And then what we need to do is fetch that file.
And the key is going to be the title of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Another option would be to have an array, and then each item is an object of title and cards.
Yeah.
But for now, I think it's easier if we go with that solution.
Okay, that is me.
So then we will have to fetch the file, and to do that we need to use effect. I don't think we have used effect before, so use effect. So use effect is a way to make React do things when the object is mounted. So we have this app component, and when the app component loads into the application, we want to trigger a fetch operation
that is loaded.
That loads the file, and then we will process that file. So use effect. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, I was just looking for where we had this effect. So we already have this effect.
Oh, we used an effect here. Okay, yeah, because of the countdown. Yeah, right. Okay, so we have to do the same thing here. But instead of
so we'll have a separate whatever it's called, I forgot, not plugin, like the timer just for the decks, right?
Yeah, it's something like that. So in the app, I think we should do that there. So we I don't know, somewhere here.
Oh, let me just copy paste from here.
Yeah, just as one line. We actually don't need the rest.
Okay. And so we need it after we have, so it's inside the application.
In I don't know, somewhere there, yeah. And then just close okay. And then inside there you can use fetch, which is part of JavaScript by now, so you don't have to use some Ajax library to do that. And then you just type in parentheses, you just type in the path of the file, which will be /dex.txt.
That dex.txt.
Yeah. And then after that, in the next line, we can say .then.
Oh, okay. Like this.
Yeah, and then
Wait a second. We already have some like this, so we were already fetching somewhere. No.
Really? No, I don't think so. I don't remember.
Oh, sorry. No. I'm working with someone else, also another application, and and there we were fetching. So I'm just totally mixed up. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But it's fairly easy. Just add an anonymous function there, lambda function.
Yeah. So wait a second. Then and inside it, then I have, I think, this sort of, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then we need to get the result into the lambda. So in the
So this is going to be a result is here.
Yeah, and then what we can do just for testing purposes now, console log result, and then let's check what happens.
Okay.
So that we go step by step here. Okay, so use effect is not defined. We actually have to import it.
Okay. Again, let me cheat.
Yeah, okay.
React.
Yeah, you just have to, it's on line 2.
Yeah, it's already you stayed out. I need to add here use effect. Use effect, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Let's see what happens now. Okay, great. Then we can actually check the console.
It's
and we should
F12, right? I think
something like that. I usually use right click and inspect.
Okay. And then it opens everything.
Yeah, and then console.
And then go to the console. Okay.
Yeah, and you can see that it's a response. Now it's a response object. So for next we have to fetch the actual text from it, and that works by saying dot text.
Dot what? Sorry.
Dot text.
Okay.
So instead of console log results, just say result text. We don't need and it's a function.
Okay.
Yeah, and we don't need the console log anymore. And we need to return that. It's going to be a promise.
Yeah, and the text is here.
Yeah, but it's a promise. So we actually have to return that from our Dan. And the easiest way to do that is just remove the console log and also the two curly braces, because if there are no curly braces, then it's automatically returning.
Okay.
And then we need another Dan on the next line. After the parenthesis is closed, you need to close the parentheses on line 33 and remove the one or 35.
Sorry? This one, this then is not wasn't closed. Okay.
Yeah, and now.
But this one, no.
You don't need that. Okay.
Okay, sorry.
And then another lambda function with result arrow. And if you console log this one now.
Here inside console.
Yeah, inside there, then it will already be the text file.
So this result is going to be the text. So maybe we can call it text or whatever. But yeah. So now we already have this text. Okay.
Yeah. And now we just have to break it up into lines and then do some clever processing.
Okay. So we probably have some split on empty lines, right?
Yeah. So, he actually, here's the point where it might make sense to start writing tests, because this is actual text processing, right? So we could do some kind of testing, but I don't remember how to write testing JS. Do you happen to remember?
No, I had a session with someone, but it wasn't.
Okay, then let's not
clear for me.
By next time I will check it out, and then we can write this afterwards, after the fact. I know it's not TDD, and I'm supposed to be someone who likes TDD, but
it's I'm not really not religious about writing the tests before. Just as you said, actually, the first time I think we were that we are exploring stuff right now. So
yeah, and also like this is a fairly simple application, right? So we have a strong enough feedback loop just by looking at the application in the other window. It's not like we have several screens where it's getting hard to test everything. It's fairly easy to manually test this, so maybe it's not worth going down that route yet. So then let's let go of that, and let's just write a simple function. I would suggest to separate this out as a function anyway, just so that it doesn't get cluttery here. But we can do it in this file, and we can later move it.
So just create a function to process this?
Function and I don't know, decode DAX or process DAX or whatever.
Almost decode text, and then we get the text, I guess.
Yeah.
And we return something that I don't know what yet.
Yeah, and what we want to do
is this object. We are going to return this object, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So we will probably have what, a constant here? No.
Yeah, or no, actually, it should probably be a lat, because we are going to modify it. This isn't going to be a nice
like this, right?
Functional approach here. Yeah. And then let's first split the text by
wait a second, you'll have to call it, right? Here, so
yeah,
we want to call this
yeah, but probably you can again remove the curly braces and just say card DAC, or sorry, decode DAX, and then result. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and
then you add the new then just to console log it.
Well, yeah, we could add another then. Okay, let's do that. Although this will be so when we return something from then, it is supposed to be a promise, and this is not going to be a promise, right? So maybe it's easier to just console log it there as is, and then.
Well, we'll see what we get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, be careful. It's there's a typo. Resolve on line 37, the last result.
Yes, yeah, I saw that. Result. It will complain.
All right.
And then here, where is the function?
And it's still complaining because the parentheses are not right, I think. Or is it? Yeah, there is a parentheses error as well. The end of the then is not closed.
Here. So this is closing, and then the then is not closed, right?
Yeah, and now it's correct.
Now it's okay.
Okay.
Okay, and now it's just an empty object that we get here.
Yeah, exactly.
Unquote in promise reference result is not defined. Let me clear this thing. Okay, so this is the object that we get. The object right now.
Okay.
Okay.
And now we have to get the text and split it by.
Was this like this split?
Yeah, I think it's split and then new line. Exactly.
It's the DEX. It's what is this now?
Well, it's lines, because it's for now it's just lines of the file.
But now we have the 3 DEX.
Yeah, but for now, this is just the lines, and then we have to process it into that structure. Net lines, yeah. Or it could be const because we are not going to change it. Yeah. And then if you look at this console log lines, just to make sure that it's what we expect.
Well, it should be an array now with 3 elements, right?
Actually, no, it should be an array with many.
Oh, because it's new. We are. So what I thought that we should probably do is 2 new lines. But
so that you can first separate out the DAX.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I didn't try that one.
Yeah,
let's see if this happens actually.
I think that's a great idea because it makes the whole thing a lot simpler than my original thought was.
So it has an array of 3 elements. And
great! That's a really nice idea. I like that.
Okay.
I like that because then you can just
and for each one of them we can split up the first line as being the key, and the rest is the list.
Yeah, and then we don't even need the stars in the file, so we can remove the stars around the DAX, and we can just assume that for every DAC you have a new line between them, and the first line is over. Oh, that's really nice. Okay, let's then modify the DAX.txt because then it's a much simpler structure than what I was trying to do there.
Okay.
DAX.txt.
Shall I already remove it, or let's?
Yeah, I think so.
First fix the code, make the code work, and then only then.
No, I think let's do it so that once we write the code, we already see the correct result. Great. Okay.
I'm happy I can contribute something.
Yeah, that was a really clever idea. I liked it. Okay, so then let's just use. Okay, then for each.
So this is many DAX. This is basically right now.
Yeah.
But we can. How do you do that? How do you run map? You call.
You could just .map.
Map, and then here you put in a function, right?
Yeah, but actually it's going to be a for each because we don't need the result. Because here we are just going to update the DAX.
Yeah, I was planning on at the end turn it into just one long line of statements, but
okay, we can try that. I'm not sure how we are going to do it, but
we can do it one by one, and then later on.
Okay.
The funny thing is that I was working on another project with someone, and then I wanted to write in Perl, and I wanted to write the step-by-step thing, and he wanted to write a single statement with multiple, much more Perlish, much more functional. So we ended up writing the one that I wanted, writing the test, and then refactoring it to the way that he proposed.
Yeah. And I actually like the functional style, but in this case, I thought it was a bit more complex to get to that functional style. But you might be right. Maybe it's not that difficult.
So let's. How do you?
I meant that you could write dot for each.
It's like for each, right? Like this.
Yeah.
And then here you put in again
a lambda. Yeah.
A lambda function. And this should be ended, and then inside the lambda function, what we do is here we get one deck. It's one deck, right?
And actually, like lines should actually be decks in that case. Although we already
that's what I thought, and that's so it's deck separate decks
or row decks, or I don't know, or maybe they just don't store it.
Let's leave it for lines for now. Let's leave it for now. Let's write the code, and then we'll see.
Okay. All right.
Maybe we can.
Yeah, because you store the lines and then do lines dot for each, but you could actually just say text dot split dot for each, and then we don't even need that lines variable.
Yeah. Can I somehow capture like the first one and the rest of them from here?
Yeah. Yeah, so the first one is easy. You can just access the first one, but maybe
But like first and rest equals like
yeah.
no
Let
not
me
like
check if I can find something. Actually, there is top.
Split could probably get a parameter, and then we split off the first part, and then the rest. I think this way we would do. So let's, and this is let, right?
So there is a function called slice, and with that you can take so you could say dax sorry, you could say dac 0, which is going to be the first element, and then you can say slice and 2, which is going to be the rest. No, slice 1, which is going to be the rest of the array.
So you slice, or you just assign it to an array, and then from the array you slicing.
Oh, that's also.
But that's I saw that like this. So
okay, that's, and then we split
let's see
again.
what happens now.
Yeah, and then we split again. I see what you mean. Okay.
So now
It's we have an error.
Unhandled rejection. Dex split is not a function.
Okay, so
what is dex?
dex?
Because it's dex. It's not dex. It's dec.
Yeah.
First of all, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now it works.
But why is it printing out the whole thing here? Array 3 elements. Where else do we have console? This one.
Yeah.
No, this.
Yeah.
Right.
We actually can remove that, and it was just.
Okay, this works. So it's an object of thing. It doesn't console log these ones. Does it even do something here?
Let's see. Yeah, it does.
And then, these are
we just get an undefined.
Okay, so it's not, I didn't like the way I tried to do this here.
Yeah.
So what if we split it and
maybe no, because it's undefined.
So this is going to be lines now, and then the other one is
deck data
parts.
Yeah, but please use
deck object.
Yeah, but use camel case, not snake case. You're writing Python code.
I'm writing. Oh, sorry, the case, right? Yeah, sorry. Deck object, and this is now
deck part.
Dex. And now we are going over the decks.
Yeah.
And for each deck, this worked, and then these are now we get the lines, and then we take the lines and the first line here. That's my hope, that now we get the. So these are the 3 titles, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Why do we have a rejection error still?
I think it's from previously.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm not sure.
All right, all right.
Okay. Okay, so this is now this is like the title, and then the whatever is the other part, questions, right? And that's, how do you write this? Like this? No,
you actually have to use slice and parenthesis 1. So it's a function, and if you lines dot slice.
That's a.
And it's a function that takes an argument, and the argument is which is the first element of the slice.
Sorry. No, I'm busy. Okay. Just a second. Sorry, I'll just write. This is my mother. Sorry for.
Can you cut that out later?
Yeah. This is how life works now, but it's okay. I just wrote her that a little later.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so we have the questions now, hopefully.
Yeah, and then we could just write DAX questions. Okay, first let's look.
I want to see this stuff. It looks array of 16, array of 24, so it looks good.
Yeah, it's good.
So now we just need to somehow combine all these things.
Yeah, and actually I just checked and I have an idea how we can do this in a functional style. If you don't mind, I would take control at this point because it's easier to show than to explain. All right, so the idea is that we don't have the deck object. Oops. Yeah, I kind of try to use so one refactor I'm gonna do is this.
I mean, you can convert the whole thing into
yeah, and then we split the text, and then we, instead of for each, we are going to do a map.
Yeah, that's what I was
and
going at one point, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, and yeah, you gave me the ideas, by the way. So and then we can do return and put this. Oops, sorry. Where am I? Kind of lost. Where is it? Yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
So I can just use this and like that. And now it will return like pairs, right? Yeah. And then there is a function on object, and it is from entries. Oops. And we just wrap the whole thing into that. And then we don't need this line anymore. And we don't need these two lines anymore either.
Right.
And now what it does, it first splits by new line, and then maps over the 3 decks. For each deck, it splits the whole thing, takes the first line plus the rest, which is going to be a pair of a string and an array of strings, and then converts it into the thing that we need. And now we can actually, okay, I'm gonna give back control.
Yeah.
But now you can go to where we code this function and just do a console log. Oh, there is already console.
You already have a console log.
Okay, then just let's check the result.
So this is the result.
Okay.
So we have a key and
133 items.
That's why okay, because the first one is so long. Okay, so 16 and 24.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Sounds great. Okay.
Okay, now we just
have to set it, right? Because now if we return that from, so instead of console log, we just return the whole thing. And then we just say this whole thing, like from line 40 to 42, just wrap the whole thing into a set.
Call the set decks here. Set decks. Like this.
And let's see what happens.
Well, nothing because
Because we are not using
we're
the,
not using it.
oh, this is, okay, there is some error happening.
Some infinite loop, update depth. This can component call state, set state inside use effect, but use effect either doesn't have a dependency array or one of the dependencies changes on every render.
Oh, I see, because we are not using so yeah, so now what we need to do actually is to, instead of, there is this draw, sorry, up there is an array that we used until now. Go up into the beginning of file. So there is this array, the card deck array.
Yeah.
And we need to delete that and find references to card deck and replace it with DAX. I don't know, DAX is, and the first key, actually, suppose.
Well, maybe we'll. We need the. Maybe we can just rename this to card deck.
That might also
like
work.
Or you don't like the idea?
No, because like this is several decks and that was only just one.
Okay.
So
okay. So we have to change also the way it works. So it was card decks deck. This was this.
yeah, and we just say
and that's
card
it.
deck, just say decks
and then we put in a 0, right?
No, we have to put because this is not an array, this is an object, and it's just DAX. So instead of card DAC, you have to write DAX, and then
first of all, that's right. That's a good idea.
And then you have to, for now, hard code the first or the second key from the text.
Can't we just call keys? Oh, you don't have keys in JavaScript, right?
Oh, you could do that. Yeah. Yeah, there is something like that. Yeah, JavaScript object keys, maybe. Yeah, there is a keys. So you could just say dot keys.
And dot pick.
Actually, it's object dot keys. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, okay, so you have to write object dot keys and then the name of the object. Yeah, now this you also need to put like wrap the whole thing into DAX and square brackets, because this is just the key and we have to take that card from the DAX or that DAC from the DAX array or object or whatever.
But this was picking.
Yep. This is right now.
This is the titles
keys.
So it's now picking one title.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the draw card.
Yeah, but it's not gonna work because pick is on the array and this is an object. So we have to first take that.
So we can. Wait a second. This will return. Isn't it? So isn't these supposed to be the titles? This one.
Yeah.
Array of titles.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So this should actually pick one of the. Yeah.
But this is not.
What is happening?
No idea.
Oh, maybe.
So I just reloaded.
Okay.
And now if I draw a card.
That's weird. It's still using that constant array. Why?
But
it's not even in the code base anymore. What's going on here?
No, it's not in the code base anymore. Let me be hardcore and restart.
Okay.
it's not something that
Yeah,
works.
something weird is going on here. Error when what is going on? Yeah.
Not
So I
really.
think that we created some kind of an infinite loop here.
Yeah, it looks like.
Hmm.
Where is the code? I lost it.
So one option is that we actually have, maybe we still have the card deck somewhere used.
But
Oh no, you already checked if it's anywhere else, right?
it was called a card deck, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not in the code base.
Okay. So let's just go back
But
and
that's
figure out what's going on. So we have that user fact, and this should actually run when we mount the component, right?
wait a second. Let me do something really simple here. Just
Makes sense.
make it I don't know, whatever. Stop doing whatever it is doing.
Yeah.
Maybe just my Firefox gave up its life. I don't know.
No, I kind of assume that what happens here is that React is constantly reloading the whole thing.
Mhm.
And maybe it's because when we use a fact, maybe it's also running when we refresh the contents. So what happens is when we fetch the data, it immediately triggers a set. And once the set happens, it's changed and it remounts. So it again fetches the data again and again and again. That's my hypothesis here.
But it looks before that. Look, array prototype is ready. Okay, but not added. Dex is assigned a value but never used. Line 25. Because now I'm not using it. Okay, that's okay. Because now I stopped using it here. Okay, that's fine. That's probably the problem.
The fix is pass as a second argument to the use effect hook. Okay, let's try to pass an empty array and let's see what happens. So
Use effect hook.
Yeah, it's a line 37. You just add a second parameter, an empty array.
Where do we have the first parameter?
It's the lambda function from line 33 to line 37.
But it doesn't have a parameter. So it wants a second.
That's not a problem because use effect it doesn't, so the lambda function doesn't get a parameter there, but we need to add a second parameter on line 37 and that is an empty array.
Where? Line
37.
37. So when we are calling here, pass in an no. Wait. I don't understand what I'm doing.
Yeah, so
calling this?
correction. let me just try and do that. So request control. So basically that's what I mean. Why isn't it happening? Yeah, it's happening. Okay, so that's it.
Okay. Okay. Let me save this and let me switch back. Okay, now it's not complaining about that. And if I draw a card,
Now we cannot draw a card because we are not setting, we are not using that. So now we actually should go back and fix what you changed.
yeah, but there should be one
Oh,
single
you
card.
should have a hello, yeah. There is a hello, which is
Okay.
fine. This is
So
expected.
hello was there, okay.
Yeah.
What's going on? Ah, okay. If I draw a card, it says hello. Good. Okay. And now I can move it back and hope that it will work.
And now it will basically choose
one of the titles, right?
Yeah, one of the deck titles.
If it works correctly, then it gets one of the titles, but it doesn't really do it. Dex is assigned a value but never used. But now we are already using it, so maybe that was before. If I reload the whole thing again.
Okay, that's
okay.
That's okay.
So it's not doing what we wanted.
Okay, can we console log object keys dex on the previous line?
So on the previous line, right?
Yeah. Without the pick, just
Yeah.
the object.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Oh, it's an empty array.
That's not good. Why is it empty now? You just passed it an empty array, so it's an empty array, no?
Wait, it's keys, okay. That's weird.
So what is the index? Wait a second. What is index?
Oh, because maybe is the use effect running now? Maybe it's now it's not running at all.
That's why I want to first of all see if the dex is there. Sorry, I need this one. It's a promise, which is fulfilled. So this is not just an object, it's a promise.
Yeah, so then we actually need to, oh yeah, so now that means that if that's returning a promise.
But we don't want it to be a promise. How can we
don't want
unpromise
to, we have to somehow turn that promise into. So decode dex is going to return a promise in that case. Maybe, I see what we need to do. So the set dex.
You have to call fulfill or something like this?
No. The change that we need to do is on line 36, we call set dex. But that's setting the result of the fetch and the dens into set dex, but then always returns a promise. So what we need to do is move the set dex goal inside
okay.
the last 10. Which makes sense. I actually, I'm kind of ashamed that I didn't spot that.
Yeah.
Okay,
parentheses are properly aligned, hopefully. And now if I draw a card, Elsher, that's good. It's except it only picks the first one. Oh no.
Oh, okay. Great.
It just wasn't random enough. Okay.
Okay, then let's try to use just the first set for now.
So you would want me to take
take the first item in that and then put this whole thing in square brackets and then use it as as a
I create a variable. No, somewhere we need to store the current deck, the name of the current deck.
yeah, but that's going to be our next task in Trello, to make sure that users can select the correct deck.
Okay,
For now,
so
let's just select one specific deck.
Lovely. I wanted to copy paste this.
Yeah, but then you don't need the object keys anymore, just the text.
So this is, now I don't need the object keys, and this is the first thing, and then hopefully our hopes are squashed. Yeah. Okay, good. Long questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we will have to do something about that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I expected the questions to be shorter. I'm gonna talk to the author of the questions, because
okay, so let's leave it like this, and then
yeah, we will figure
decide what to do once you know the data, and maybe limit the length of the text, or do some. Or
we can just say that overflow and you know, add a scroll bar there.
Okay,
yeah, that's one way, but we'll figure this out later.
Yeah. Okay, so now it works. So let me commit this one. So we.
And with that, I can move our first card into done.
So result text, where is this result text? Here we have an M. Okay, so, okay, git add, git, and fetch the dex from external file.
Yeah, cool.
And use the first deck. Okay, there you go.
So the surprising thing is that this took us almost an hour.
Okay.
Okay, then I moved the multiple decks task into the in progress, and then we can try adding that.
Yeah, so I guess you need some where to select the deck, right?
Yeah, and for each player we will have to select separately, because in one SAP have session there might be people from the first phase of transition, or the second phase, or the third phase of transition.
Okay.
So everyone has their own decks. That's.
But is it good for them to communicate that way? Isn't that?
Yeah, I mean that was the specification. I'm not the one leading these sessions, right?
Yeah. So once you have this something, you might want to show it to your client. Maybe they'll see. Oh no, this is not the way.
It's perfectly possible, but for now, that's our specification.
Let's follow the instructions.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically that means that for here, once we add the player,
yeah,
then we also have to select here the.
Or once you added the player, then you can afterwards select it. Oh, maybe it's better to select it together with the name. Yeah, you're right.
And then it's frozen.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. Because why would someone, like, it's not like in an hour someone would suddenly move from one phase to the other.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so then let's add a drop down. So we have the input field there, so we have to add a drop down there, and then generate the options. I think it's called an maybe it's called an option.
Here. Yeah, options.
options.
So
Yeah.
I add the div here, and inside there
No, I mean, still
inside the
line
here.
76, because that's very
select.
Yeah.
It's a select, and then in the select probably has I don't know, and then it has options. So a list of options. And each has a value that's and the key here.
Yeah. Which in our case will be the same.
Yeah.
And then basically, when we also have to specify a key, which also be the same thing, because that's because of React requires that.
So we need a key here.
Yeah, key.
Which is also going to be the same, you say.
Yeah, and then what we do is we are going to take, and that's where we can actually use the object keys stack, because in select you are going to open, just like with players, you are going to open.
Wait a second. We here. Sorry, wait a second. Sorry. So here we also have to have something on change, right? Because
yeah, but first let's generate the drop down, and then we will worry about the on change after that. So we have to copy what's in the players.
So wait a second. This is a deck title, right? It's gonna be here, the deck title.
No. First we have to map through the keys, because we have to generate the three options, right?
Right.
And if you look at line 84, 85,
yeah, like
you
this.
see how you can map through an array.
So we go here and say,
yeah, and we had object dot keys deck. Next. Yeah, keys.
Dot keys decks, and we probably
and then map. Then we need to map.
Yeah, but it's gonna be random.
No, why?
Because it's an object, and the keys are going to be random.
Ah, I see what you mean.
The order are going to be random.
Then should we change the data structure?
Well, if they like first and second and third, and then probably yes, because you don't want them to be alphabetic order, because who knows what the letters are.
Yeah, true. Oh. Okay, then
we can continue now with this. We can continue now with this and then change both.
Yeah, okay, let's continue with this and then we refactor. Okay, cool. So then you do a map. And then you just return that option thingy there, down there. So you move what's on line 81, you move that inside the...
Yeah, this one.
At the map, yeah.
And I need a variable here, which is deck.
Yeah, deck name actually.
Deck name. Now it's deck name, right? And now I have the deck name, and I can copy paste here.
Yeah, and basically you have to copy it, paste it 3 times.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's it. Let's actually check if this works.
And you don't need the semicolon here? You didn't like the semicolon here?
Yeah, because okay. That's actually interpolation there, so you don't need it. Okay.
So
let's see. Yeah, and let's see the list, and it's empty.
It's empty.
Oh,
too early. Maybe it's too early.
No, because this actually should update when why is it okay? So when the
Well, if we console log here, then I guess the deck is going to be empty here.
yeah, because somehow when a patch happens, we still want to re-render the thingy, right? That's a problem, that it's not re-rendering.
So this use effect.
Let's try something. Can you go back for a second? The application
Here?
to the browser. Let's go back to browser. Yeah, and like press draw card. That didn't work. Okay. And if you press or add the name like Ivett and add player, does that refresh it? No. Okay.
Can we console log here? Can we console log here? To see
I don't think. I don't think you can console log there. Let me see.
Just I wanted to see if there is something here.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So this probably has to do something with how use effect works. Because what I guess is, because when you do set something that actually will trigger a re-render, and for some reason this time it's not happening, and I don't understand why. Let me see if I can.
Wait a second. It's complaining about here something, that the Mac expects a return value from arrow function. Maybe the problem is not the timing, but that we made some mistake here in the code.
Oh yeah, because okay,
I
so either you remove the curly braces or you enter return. Yeah, that's one way, or you could have just removed the curly braces on line 79 and 81.
Yeah, this one, but they had the same curlies below, so let's keep the curlies for now.
But then add the
return
at the end.
The what?
No, we didn't have a semicolon. And why isn't this working? Options is unrecognized in this browser.
Because it's option, not
yeah.
options. Okay.
All right.
Small
hey,
things. And it wasn't even this. Okay. I was looking there. Okay, it's here. Okay, whatever.
So it turns out that it kept the order.
Well, that's just random. So
yeah, that's just luck. So let's do what you said.
I think so. Actually, I think
do a refactor here before we move on.
And keys should be unique, so that command. So it didn't like something with the keys. So because I didn't put the. So it doesn't. Here we don't use in the key. We don't use quotes around it, and I put quotes.
Yeah.
Do we need the?
Probably you don't need quotes at either of those places. Also, the value should have no quotes.
But why don't have quotes here?
Because it's an interpolation. If you write
here
quotes,
too,
it's gonna be taken
here
literally.
Here I don't need the quotes either.
Yeah.
Okay. So now it's gonna be happier. It seems so. It's happier now. But we have.
Wait, what the hell? What happened? Can you refresh? Why did this happen?
So what if I draw a card? What if I add the player?
That was weird.
Yeah.
Oh, I have no, I don't know. That's weird. Anyhow. All right, so
okay, good. So we have the
okay. Then let's do the refactor.
Sorry.
Let's do the refactor.
Okay. So we convert this into an array, the DEX.
Yeah, we should have, so DEX, instead of from entries.
So this is, wait a second, this DEX is going to be an array now, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then here, we don't return from entries,
But the array itself.
but it's just an array. So each
DEX is going to be one item of the array.
I mean, the item 0 is going to be the title, and the item 2 is going to be the list of. Right?
You know what I thought, that we were going to turn the line 16 also into an object with name or title and cards.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to suggest, but apparently I don't need to suggest. So it's like this.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need the quotes?
Yeah, you do.
And then let's make some space.
Or maybe
here.
not. Maybe you don't need, because it infers it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this is what we call it. What questions?
Mm-hmm. Or cards.
Cards. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then we don't need this one. Well, maybe we do.
Yeah.
Not at the same
and
place.
You don't need the object either on line 13, and you can remove one more parentheses from line 20. Yeah. So now we have a different structure, so we have to update everything.
So it was the DEX. So here we have now DEX.
Now 0.
The first 0, and then.
No. You replace DEX.
That's not what I wanted. Yeah.
You just want DEX 0 and then dot cards, because
0
and dot cards.
Cards.
Exactly. And now going
here,
down there to the last
not
part
keys anymore, but
yeah, just the deck.
DEX. And then
it's going to be the deck.
This is the deck now. And here we
deck.
have the dot title.
No, actually, let's make the value and the key the index. So you can take deck comma index in the parameter list of the anonymous or the lambda function.
Here?
Yeah, you can always take an index. And then for value and key, we can use the index. And for
yeah, it's probably nicer.
It just makes more sense to use the index now. And then you can use deck title there. Yeah, let's see.
And now it might work.
Boom. Oh, okay.
Now it's just refreshing rapidly.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Now
you have to refresh from there, because it doesn't like. I don't know what's going on. I upgraded Ubuntu about 5 days ago to the latest and greatest, and copy paste stopped working. And then I changed to the Xorg server, whatever. Now it's better, it works, but still I have like fears that something is broken with all this. I don't know, something is broken.
Okay, let's see.
So we have them here now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now we can make sure that when we add a player, then we actually have that stored with the player, which deck they are using.
Mm-hmm. By the way, would you want it here to have an empty one, so to make the person not default to the first one?
I think for me now it's fine. Let's see what the customer thinks about it.
So let's see. We need to have something here to set the current
Yes, so for each player that is added, we actually have to, so, okay, how do we do that? So when,
Well, you have here this on change, set new player name. So we probably want to have something like this.
Yeah.
Here. This on change, this is the whole on change thing. So here in the select also, we want something like on change, I can know, and then set new player deck.
Yeah,
right?
it makes sense.
And then I don't know where is this, but
this is actually a state, so we have to create a state there.
Yeah, so we have this one, and then
it's gonna be 0 to begin with.
And deck, and set new player.
Player deck.
Deck, okay, deck.
And use state 0.
0, okay.
And now we can actually.
I don't know if it's on change or whatever it's in there, and then. Okay, and then when we have this.
Let's just display. Let's do display it so that we see. And for each player, let's kind of. Oh yeah, because when we add the player, so it's on click add player.
Here.
There's a function called add player.
Yeah.
Somewhere we have an add player function.
Yeah, and here we can see this. So we can here we can console log the new player.
Oh, no, you don't even have to console log. You just add it as a new key on line 48. You have the new player name, and then you duplicate that line and just say DAC and new player DAC. Yep. And now we can actually just display it in the template. If you go down to the bottom. Oh yeah, we actually have to pass that. Oh, the player is passing. So you have to just go to player.js and just display it.
Sorry. So the player name, and then we can have
in a parenthesis, we can, yeah, player
deck, and then we can receive first we see the number, and then we can turn it into the text.
Yeah.
So now foo add player.
And it's there. Foo.
And bar, that's select 2.
Yeah,
and bar got 1, okay, and Ivett is going to be 3rd, and that still works.
Okay, cool.
And if I try Gabor now with 2nd, then it gets 1. Okay, so these are good.
Okay, it works. Okay, but actually we probably want to display this in a more meaningful way. But unfortunately, we don't have the title here. So we actually have to pass in the title. And actually, we don't really need the ID. We just need the okay, so
we could save the title on the player.
Yeah, let's also save the title. That makes sense.
So deck title here.
Yeah, and then in
JS we also save the title.
Yeah.
Deck title, and this is the deck's new player deck, and then dot title.
Yeah, makes sense.
Then hopefully.
Oh yeah, we lost the. Yeah. Again, yeah, and now let's put it in some kind of parentheses to make it a bit less awkward.
Okay, so we need just to put here something, not here,
Not here, but like in the template of player.js.
not here. So you tell me what to do here because I have no whatever CSS, HTML, just a span with something
or just put it in a parenthesis and put a. No, I didn't mean that. Wait. All right, that also works. Let's see if that works. Yeah, but then
it still need some. So
there is a. You know what? Let's move this deck title to the end of the whole thing because it's not like this is going to be the final design, right? And we still have time to figure out the design. Just move it into the back, and then we don't have to worry about it. Yeah, and then you don't even need the on deck. Then just. Yeah, for now it's fine, and then later on we will worry about the design.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and now we have to make sure that we are actually taking a card from the proper deck.
Oh, okay. Because we have somewhere hard-coded that part. Decks. We are using the pick somewhere.
Yeah, and here's the problem. Currently, we don't know which player we are playing with right now. So this is the point where I have to pull in another card into in progress, which is track active user, because we have to start tracking the active user before we can finish this task.
Okay, before we do that, let me just git status, git diff. So we have some extra space.
And also like a bunch of console logs that we don't need.
Sorry?
We also have a bunch of console logs that we should remove.
Okay. It's in the player thing. These comments are to remove?
Yeah, I think we should remove that by now. And also those. Okay.
Okay, that's clean now. So we pick the deck for the user when adding a new user. Okay. Good.
So we need one more state in that case, which will be the active player.
Name?
No, it's just the player's ID.
So it's ID?
Yeah. But it's more like the index, no? It's probably better if we use the index. Because the ID is something we generated, and the index is like the position of the player in the array, right?
Okay, and what shall it be the default?
0.
0?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And all we need to do is when we draw a card, we just add one to the active player.
And modulus, whatever.
modulus the length of the player's array.
Okay. So when we draw a card, on click draw card. That's not here.
Mhm.
Here, set end of current turn, set current card,
And set active player index, or actually it's
But
not the
first-
active player, it's the next player index, because we pick a card for the player that is becoming active now, and then we pass it on to the next player, right?
I don't know. I thought that first you move to the new player ID and then pick.
Oh, that's even better. You're
pick,
right.
And then you have the current player, and then
Okay,
and
that makes
because of
sense.
that, probably here I would start with null or whatever you have in JavaScript, and then so
Because if we don't have any players, then who is the new player? Who is the active
yeah.
player?
So who is the active player?
Or
So-
-1. You could start with -1, and then
Okay.
and then when we add, then it becomes
Okay.
0.
Okay, so here we first set the set active player index
Yeah.
to
Active
the
player index +1.
active player index +1.
And we will worry about the modulo in a minute.
How do you say modulus? No, it's modulus, right? This is the modulus.
Yeah, but you should do that inside.
Inside what?
Inside the what you just did.
Whatever.
No, it's fine. Okay, and then the length of the
which is
where was it?
players.
So we have the players.
Here,
Players dot
players.
length.
Length.
Yeah. Okay. And let's first display who's the active player. It would make sense, right? So if you go down into we should somehow be able to say if you take the index in the map player index, then we could somehow mark this as active if the index is the active player index.
Here.
Yeah.
So what is the play?
Let me show you what I mean.
We can send in the active player ID, and here we can say that if they are equal, then put something there.
Yeah, but I think it would look better if we pass in if it's active. So here we could let me just use annotations. So here, do you see what there that
I don't see your annotation now.
Okay, then let me use some other means here.
Okay, now I see it.
So here we could add something like another parameter which says active, and we will display that active.
And how do you pass in multiple parameters here?
So
just comma here?
No. You can actually just say space, and then the question is, how can we?
Well, you can say the active player index equal to player ID. No.
Yeah, and then.
But that's not the ID.
No, that's the index. So you have to say. Me show
here.
You. Here you have to also take the index.
But here I have to add the index, no?
Yeah.
And then here I need to say equals to index.
Yeah, and then question mark and something like.
Oh, it doesn't say, it doesn't send in the true false here, just like that.
No, we actually have to.
And why is this
something
red?
like here you have to add a question mark.
Yeah, so it needs to be the ternary.
Yeah, it's ternary, and then you say active or empty string. A string active or empty string. Yeah, something like that. For some reason, this doesn't work here. I'm not sure why it's being underlined.
Number expected.
Active player index. What is active player index here? Let me do a quick search on the interwebs. So in React, props, yeah, that's the one I'm looking for.
It says 3 dots expected. What is 3 dots expected?
That's what I'm trying to figure out now. React props, render props. So I'm wondering how we can, because if we were to say active equals and then true false, that would definitely work. Let me take control for a second. So
I'm not sure what your
it would be active. Why doesn't it work? Okay. And instead of what we have so far, we are going to say true and false. I will want to refactor this, but for now, this should work, because now we will have here in player.
Wait a second, what?
We could say,
well, just display the value now, and then
yeah. And then we will figure out how to make this look nicer, but I'm gonna give
how was it? How was this? So let me just get back here. So you changed it to that's another attribute.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I would really like to create different kind of attribute that doesn't have a value. It's either there or not, but I'm not sure how to do that. So that's what I'm looking for.
But we still don't need to have value here. You can, or it must have a value. It can't be an empty string.
That is what I'm trying to figure out how to do that. But
okay, so let's see if this works.
Yeah, let's first see if it works, and then we can figure out. Okay, that doesn't. Yeah, because now you have to press draw card, and it doesn't work. We don't have the. Okay, first let's console log the active player index for now.
Where? Here?
No, in app.js. When we are changing the active player index in the draw card function, then let's see if that works at all.
So here I would console log.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that part works. Okay. Okay, so why doesn't it pass in the way? Oh, maybe let's add this to player.js as well, and let's see if we can log the active.
But why don't we just pass in the active player index?
We could do that. It feels weird because I don't think that the player should know the active player index. And we would also
Okay.
have to be passing the index.
Okay.
So it would be more natural to just tell the
Okay.
player, are you active or not, right?
So
But
this,
maybe we can just say instead of the ternary, just include the active player index equals, and then it's a Boolean. Let me show you what I mean.
so you don't without the ternary, just the equal sign.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. So
Yeah, so just remove the end, right?
yeah. You still need the curly bracelet. Yeah, and then now in player.js.
So that's in player.js. This should be a true or false.
Yeah, and that's first just console log it. So on line 3, press and enter, and then console log player active. Just to make sure that we actually get that value.
Console log the whole player for us.
Oh shit! I know why it's not working.
And
I know why it's not working. Because we are not using it correctly. Go back. So it's actually we have player use modifier, and we also have to take the active variable. So in player.js, go to player.js. So here on line 3, we have player and on use modifier, and we also have to add active. Yeah,
okay.
now we can just use active. And also down there, we can use active. And maybe, I don't know, use a ternary operator and say active when it's active. And empty string when it's not. It could be empty string. No?
Yeah. I just want to be something there that.
Okay, actually it's written there.
Sorry?
It's there now.
It's there?
Yeah. And if you press the draw card now, exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
So I can remove the passive here, just so.
Yeah. And we will figure this out later, how to do this better. For now, it's fine.
How to do this what, sorry?
How to do this better, because for me, it would be nicer if we didn't pass in a Boolean value there. Instead, we could just either add the active prop or not add it.
We cannot, sorry?
So what I mean is, for now, if we go to app.js, we say active equals something.
Yeah, right.
Instead of just saying active, if it's active, and nothing if it's not active. It's a little,
yeah, okay.
aesthetic thing, but for now it's fine. And we can later worry about design as well. So let's just.
Can't we just have it like this?
No, that because you do need a name for the prop.
And then here put the prop in.
Mm-hmm.
And otherwise nothing.
Yeah, but that's what we tried at the beginning, and that's why we refactored it, the thing that, yeah. Okay. So I will figure this out by next time, and see if we can make that happen. And then for now, let's continue by going back to the previous task.
Now we have to pick the card from the right place.
Yeah, exactly.
So when we pick the,
Right now it's really easy because you just in draw card you just say instead of dex 0 you say dex active player index. That's it. Just replace
what?
0 with active player index. And that's it.
No, that's no. The active player index is the index of the active player.
Yeah.
And from there we need to fetch what is the player's deck.
True. Sorry, you're right.
So we have to go to the active player. Right. So we have to go to the players, active player
index,
and
then from that you have to take the deck.
It's called deck.
Yeah, it's called deck. It could be called deck index, but for now it's called deck, I think.
Okay. And should be a dot here, not a comma.
You're right. Okay.
And something is I don't know, whatever. So let's see if this does something. So now the question, if you know what are the questions in different, they are both in first phrase. So let's pick someone.
Okay, so this one, I think this one. And this was the third, because this one is from the first.
Sorry?
This one is actually from the first deck, and it should be from the third, I think. Because the first, I can actually check from the text file which one it comes from.
This is currently so this is the first deck, right?
Okay, this is from the first.
And even though that should be the third one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So something is not working properly. App.js. So we thought it's still sorry. Okay, this I don't want. I want to get rid of the player, the console.
Yeah, console log, we don't need that anymore.
I need that one. And in here, I would like to console log, not this index, but this one. And add player deck, new player deck. Okay. And I would like to.
Yeah, you can log it there.
These two numbers.
Next.
And so now if I draw a card, it says 220011.
And that's correct. So that part is correct. Because the third player has the third deck.
The first two.
The first
So
two
0 is 0. and 1 is also 0, and 2 is 2. Okay, that's
That
correct.
part, it seems correct.
Because the set current, we didn't use the set here in the set current card. Wait, we did use it, sorry. Set current card DEX.
We choose from the correct deck. Okay. That's weird.
This is now,
This should be from the third deck.
let me search again. Maybe it was a refresh issue for us. No, that's still.
That's from the second.
No, that's the first. The second starts here.
Oh,
So this
okay.
was the first deck. Still picking from the first deck, even though. And this one, it also. Maybe we have a. So this is the third deck.
Ha.
The refresh comes later. Wait a second. Okay, wait a second. I know what. How can we fix it? So the setting doesn't take effect, and here we are using the active player index. So in this, so we can save this new number here in a variable, and then use this here, because this setting doesn't take effect until this happens.
That's weird because the console log does show the new value.
Yes, you are right. Set active player index. And then we check the active player index. And then we pick the card. So, sorry, jumping too much.
Hey, one idea. How about we also do one more log, one more console log.
Take the
Console log.
The text.
And instead of cards, just title. Because then we can see what's the title of the deck we are going to pick from.
Sorry?
So
this one, but the title. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see what's that. You need to close the yeah.
Right? Okay.
Let's see. Okay. True. And it's good. What the hell? Oh. Can you go back to the parsing part? Did we parse correctly?
Parse where?
And in the
Well,
okay. So I actually need a quick break. But I can be back in a minute.
okay.
You can
I can try to figure it in the meantime.
Yeah.
I hope that we finish in a couple of minutes anyway, but
Yeah.
okay.
I really need to. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so I will be silent now or whatever.
And back.
I checked, the decks look okay.
Mm-hmm.
See, this doesn't change. The active player index that we are using is the same here and here.
Oh, what? Really?
That's how I understand here, 110.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, wait a second. That's the console being delayed. No.
No.
So let's try the what I suggested and then go back if it's not working.
Mm-hmm.
So this is now from the third one.
Okay.
And if I draw a new one,
Bam. It's undefined because we didn't use the module. You have to
modulus, yes, but where was the modulus? Ah,
yeah, you have to move it to
yeah, I didn't write it correctly. I didn't move it out. Okay, so I have to put this here. Okay.
boom. Okay. First, second. Boom. I know. No, I don't know. Oh, it's just remove the console logs. We don't need them anymore, and it will be fine. One of the console logs is making the error. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that when the debugging is the one that's killing the program. So this is now supposed to be from the second, right?
Exactly.
This is from the second.
And it is.
This is supposed to be from the third.
Mm-hmm.
And it's from the third. And this is supposed to be from the first. And it's from the first.
Yay. So this task is then done.
Let me remove the console logs and these ones. And this current, what is current player index?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's weird. I don't know why. Maybe it's some kind of asynchronicity that is at fault here. I don't know even enough about how the set functions work in React to
Yeah.
know what's going on in the background there.
So it's supposed to be second. Okay, So it looks good now.
Mhm.
Okay,
Oh.
and let me just check. So I don't have console log. Okay. So I think, yeah, git status, git diff. So we pick from the correct desk, deck. Pick card from the correct deck. Okay. I think it's enough for today.
Yeah.
We're working on 2 hours now, and we make progress.
Yeah, we actually finished 3 tasks.
Yeah, you could make smaller tasks and then we could finish much more.
Actually, we did 4 because one of the to-do tasks we accidentally have done it.
Yeah. Okay.
Great. So next time, you know what? I'm gonna show you what's up for next time.
Okay.
So what's left is make the skip button work and make the broadcast button work. So skip is going to allow you to move to the next player. Actually, oh, okay, anyway. And then we are going to deploy the whole thing to Amazon AWS.
Okay.
And then we can do a local storage. So when someone refreshes, they don't lose the players. Improve the design, and and then the last thing is going to be to keep multiple browsers in sync. And that's it.
Okay.
Probably are going to do these 3 or 4 next time.
Good.
Great.
Okay. So thank you very much. Everyone who was watching now, please like and share and whatever. Follow the channel. And thank you very much. And also put your channel there, as I did earlier in the previous videos. See you next time.
See you next time.
Okay, let me stop this. Bye-bye.